All right, guys, this video might be a little longer than normal, but I got to get some information out. First, let's give you a background. So this is a GameStop video, flat out. The people who say I can't make GameStop videos or we don't talk enough about GameStop, there's a reason why we don't, because we've been talking about it for 2 years, and we just wait. We're waiting for the right news, we're waiting for the right information to come out, and the evaluations to come out. But I will address some comments and some videos about last night. If you guys are not paying attention to last night, we had a guy from AMC named AMC Bigums attack GameStop on his videos. And he tells this to the masses, right? He's got way bigger platform than me. GameStop sucks. It's not profitable. It's a terrible company. Their leadership is trash. And then, of course, Morantz, he attacks me. But he's wrong. I mean, he's wrong on everything, but it's fine. So I went ahead and made a video last night to answer him back and to say, hey, here's how GameStop's profitable. And I showed the chart and everything. So he writes at the bottom of the page in the comments, he says, oh yeah, show me the last 4 10Qs. And, even a 10K that shows you how much money they've made over the last year. If you're invested for 1 year, this is my first answer. If you're invested for 1 year, you're wrong here. I'm invested forever, a lifetime, because I know it's a great investment. I know exactly what it is, but I'll just draw it back to you. I went ahead and showed you that the last 5 years before the pandemic, GameStop made money. They're profitable. They're even profitable during the pandemic. They had a positive cash flow. They've always had a positive cash flow with the exception of 2019. Now, I'm going to explain that whole part to you. So, making money for GameStop is easy. Buy product, sell product. They've always made anywhere from $500 million all the way down to $100 million a year. Net profit. I'm talking about everything that's paid for, net profit, and this is why they give out dividends. So they've done that for a whole decade. And when you really look at GameStop, the problem that they had was they started getting shorted down. They got shorted down because there was 2 things that happened. It was a 2-pronged approach. One was the Fortnite effect. The other was a console cycle reset. Fortnite effect is everything's done online. No one's going to be buying at the store, and you're not going to sell any more games because Fortnite was the greatest game ever been built for consoles, and it went across platforms, and you couldn't sell copies of games anymore. That's just what it was. But it's since died down a little bit, but it's still there. We can still use that narrative of that happening. Like it had a real effect. But industry-wise, people changed. I.e. GameStop went to apparel and collectibles, and they've increased those 2 categories 30% each year over the last 3 years, which is phenomenal. Next thing would be GameStop made a profit, but because that was happening in 2018, they were attacked by shorts. And the short hedge funds all pounced on one stock that we already know was reported over 140% short, which has never been heard of a day in your life. And I'm not here for a short squeeze. I just want people to know that. Everybody knows why I'm here. It's been fundamental since the day I walked in, but with the added caveat that, yeah, there could be a squeeze here. There could be some manipulation, but that's just added value. I'm not invested for that. I'm invested for a lifetime because I really think that I'm following the right guys, right? I'm following Ryan Cohen. When you say I'm following Ryan Cohen blindly or, dick riding, or I don't know, you use a lot of vulgar terms. For me personally, I just understand the business model of retail because I'm in that. I run retail. I do e-commerce. I do credit cards. I do advertising. I do all the things that they're doing. So that's why I pay attention to it. And that's what drew me to it, really. So when you hear all of this, let's break down the number for you, okay? The only thing that held GameStop back from making a profit was the impairment charge on the bottom line. So it looked like GameStop lost $683 million in 2018, but they didn't. They had a goodwill impairment charge of $960 million. Like, you have to know what that means. That means that their stock price fell below where their valuation was. And when that happens, investors take a hit. They take a loss. That's why stock price has to stay above the goodwill impairment charge or the goodwill evaluation. AMC right now has a goodwill evaluation like $2.4 billion market cap. They're eventually going to fall underneath that. And then a goodwill impairment charge is going to fall and hit them on the bottom line. When that happens, it's going to be scary. It's going to be really scary. Goodwill for AMC has fallen over $2 billion over the last 2 evaluations. This is why the insiders of AMC sold, because they knew their product was overvalued. Everyone knew it. When they did an evaluation of their company, and I encourage you guys to go look at the SEC filings for AMC over the last 2 years, you'll see that they have steadily decreased their goodwill value. That means their brand and their product is worth what to the company? It's $2.3 billion, whatever it may be. It'll drop below that. GameStop had that happen to them 2 years in a row, where they were attacked for over $1 billion in impairment charges. $1.2 billion of impairment charges were on the bottom line. Okay. While that's all happening, GameStop's is FCF positive. They actually have cash flowing in. They actually make more money than what they didn't. They were only FCF positive, negative 1 year during that time frame. Now 2021 hits, okay? And everyone wants to pay attention to this part. This is Ryan Cohen coming in. This is Matthew Furlong coming in. And they transition this company. They pay for the infrastructure of this company to make them bigger and better than ever. Oh, yeah. You want to talk about raising $1 billion and still have $1 billion? Oh, they still have $1 billion. And what they burned off in cash was not because their business model didn't make sense or because their business model wasn't making money. No, they were building infrastructure. To have 2 new fulfillment centers larger than ever, that alone costs money. You have to fill it up with equipment, employees, leadership, culture, training. All that takes time. Then you have a call center, 500 employee call center. Then you have 350 senior staff that you hire, whether it be for the marketplace that they developed. Yes, that is a technology thing, and it's going to pay off in the future. And I'm not even worried about that. It's all set up. I have a GameStop wallet. If you're a GameStop investor, AMC Bigums, I hope you have NFTs, and maybe I can send you some, and maybe you understand the utility of what it is. Until it's mass adopted, it's always going to be foreign to you. But I'm sure that was the case for iTunes in October 23rd, 2001. Yet it didn't reflect on the price of Apple for 2 years, okay? Because nobody knew what to do with it. Nobody knew that, you know what? You didn't even know the iPhone was coming out until it came out in 06, 07, whatever it was. The watch, the iPad, everything you see in front of you. You couldn't fathom these things. And I'm not saying we're Apple, but I'm also telling you, you can't fathom what GameStop's about to do. But let's just talk about e-commerce. Let's talk about the business model that makes money. Is that they paid for everything. Now, if you listen to the earnings report, which I'm sure you don't, Matthew Furlong came out and said, we are now transitioning to become profitable, to show a profit. And do you know why? Because GameStop did the math. GameStop did pluses and minuses, and they said, you know what? We sell more product than what we bring in, right? Like, they're paying for inventory, guys. They're buying the ingredients before they sell the pie. And by buying the product, they've increased their inventory levels from traditionally 300 million and 500 million a year, just 2 years ago. They're now at $1 billion in inventory. They're prepping themselves for something bigger. I tried to give you this. They bought the space. They have the retail footprint that Amazon wished they had. We have the professionals for this. These guys are industry greats. I mean, the greatest of all time. Matthew Furlong has been running Amazon for what, a decade in Australia? Yeah, CEO of Australia. He knows what he's doing. Like, I give him all the rope in the world. But Ryan Cohen and Matthew and Larry Chang and Alan Adel, these guys are geniuses in this world of e-commerce. But you know where it started, just so you're aware. It all started with the guidance of a guy named Mark Vadden. Mark Vadden started Blue Nile. They sold more diamonds than Tiffany's. They went public in 2004. They had been selling diamonds since 1998. Mark Vadden then in turn comes up with the idea with another guy, his other partner, I forget his name at this moment, but they went ahead and started up Zulily, and they sold apparel to children and women. And Zulily was one of the first companies, e-commerce, besides Amazon, to break $1 billion in sales. Okay? Guys, this is history. Then you have from Zulily to Chewy. And while he's in Zulily, Mark Vadden and the crew, they start giving guidance to Ryan Cohen. I have the video. I made the video about it. I have the interview. And this is where Ryan Cohen gets his ideas from, or his guidance. Mark Vadden became the CEO of Chewy and helped facilitate that company and the merger to $3.2 billion sell-off to PetSmart. That whole crew that started from Blue Nile to Zululi, to Chewy is now at GameStop. Everybody came. Everybody's here. And it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal because they know how to run e-commerce business and beat Amazon while Amazon exists. You can have two companies thrive and survive. This is one of them. We are going to show a profit, which we already do. If you really look at the bottom line, do you know why we had a net? You said, why'd they lose $91 million? Well, you said the wrong number. You said 95, but it was 91. Why'd they lose $91 million this last quarter? I was like, they had a FCF positive of 177 million. What did they do? They increased inventories every quarter three. They hold a higher inventory threshold for quarter two and quarter three to prep for quarter four, because quarter four is where they do 40% of their business. They're selling more product during quarter four, right? Black Friday, Cyber Monday, in GameStop's case, Cyber Week. They did Black Friday specials the whole month. They also have Christmas. And then, of course, tax return season's rolling around right now. I hope you're ready to buy something big. GameStop has a new business model. The business model is e-commerce, not brick and mortar. Brick and mortar has shortened their footprint from 5,800 stores to 4,500 stores, with an additional 1,400 stores under lease renewal agreements this year. They're going to find out which ones they're going to extend and which ones they're not. So the retail footprint that Amazon tried to buy when they bought Whole Foods, GameStop already has. GameStop's infrastructure backwards, they actually built it out the right way. The fulfillment centers is creating a spider web all over America. Final delivery is easier for a console to get to your doorstep than it ever has been, because GameStop knows how to do this. They shipped bags of $50 dog food all the way to your doorstep. What makes you think they can't ship a product to your door? They know how to run this business, man. I hope you're invested for this forever. I really do. But to say you're in it for a short squeeze, or maybe you just want to look for some real pop, maybe that's why you're here. I'm not here for that. I'm here forever. I love this stock. I love the way companies run. I love the leadership. That's the real difference here. You want to talk about profits over 4 10Qs? Right? I go print out the last 4 10Qs and they look like they're losing. No, man. They're setting up. They're setting up for forever. And the infrastructure is there and the profits are there because they've had the profits in the past, where they just show you, we buy and we sell product, and guess what? There's a margin there, and we make the margin. And that's all you have to do. Become better operators. Run a penny business. Create culture. And how do you create culture? Pay their employees through RSUs. Give them some love, like walk around, make sure the stores are clean, neat, clean, and straight. That's it. I go to GameStops every week and I see them, and they're moving product. They're short on product, which is actually a great thing in my mind, because I'm like, man, with the inventory levels the way they are, at $1 billion worth of inventory, and these stores are still selling out of product. This is a good problem to have. I love to see it, but you'll never know how much you can sell until you fill it all up. So, one balance statement is not going to move me. It's not going to trick me to get out of this. Your negativity towards the stock and towards people who promote it, like who actually talk about it in detail. I'm not telling you to buy GameStop or sell AMC. I've never done that. I don't know why people say this. I tell you what I'm doing. Additionally, I give you information that you should really value, because I read through it all. And I don't think you do. I don't think you read each line of every filing. I don't think you do any of that. No way, because if you did, then you'd understand that AMC is not a profitable company, not a great business model. And no matter what you sprinkle on you think is coming, the core business model is gone. The industry is gone. And it's never going to come back. You already lost 80% of your foot traffic over the last decade. And guess how long I've been invested in certain things? Decades. I've been invested right here. Look, I wear a Kirkland shirt. You want to know how brand loyal I am? I have Costco stock for the last 10 years. I've been buying it when it was $100. It's $600 last year, and I didn't sell. I don't sell. I've been paid out plenty of dividends over the whole time frame. Now you want to look at GameStop? I'm going to be getting paid out dividends on that too. It's going to happen. Sorry this video is a little longer than normal, but I have to explain the whole background to you because you refuse to have an open debate about anything on your channel. Lord knows I don't want to get cussed out the whole time I'm there. But you tell me in the comments, well, dispute this or dispute that. I don't have to dispute anything. Go look at the business model. Go look at the balance sheet. Go read something and understand how business is done. You load up, you stack it high, you watch it fly, you see how it goes. The margins are minimal. You do the best you can and become the best operators in the world. And we currently have that. Eat it, sleep it, breathe it. And then you'll be like me. Or you can be like you. Just complain about everything. Peace.